Hey everybody, it's Jumandy52, Luke. I just wanted to make a commentary, especially after seeing the piece of news called 2013 What's Coming and What's Going. I just read this like 5 minutes ago when I got home from work. You know, it's a daily routine for me. Check the RuneScape homepage, and then log in and do stuff. So I haven't even logged in for the day yet. And I know this says 2 days ago, but Jegex's timing and stuff, I'm pretty sure this came out probably during the normal daily update time that Jagex rolls stuff out, and then it says 2 days because this is technically the next day for Jagex just a couple hours ago. So anyway, I know it says 2 days ago. Some of you have probably read it. Some of you may not have, especially if you have a schedule like mine. So when I logged on and saw this, 2013, What's Coming and What's Going, CEO Mark Gerhard looks back over 2012 and the lessons we've learned from your feedback and sets out his plan for 2013. There's really only one thing that I could say. Let's read it. So in reading this, there was a few surprises. I'm just going to go ahead and give you an overall feedback of my general impression, and then I'll read it to you. But my general impression was that this is a really good letter, and I really think that this is worth reading, or if you can't be bothered to read it, just go ahead and listen. I will be ad-libbing in comments here as I read it, which will reflect the thoughts that I have now and had when I read this about 10 minutes ago. It's a fairly lengthy post, and I want to give ModMark some applause for some of the statements that he made in this. So let's get started. Every new year should start with a resolution. Here at Jagex, our resolution for 2013 is a big one, to look back over the huge game-spanning changes that we made last year, look at what we did right and where we could have improved, and to lay out our plan for 2013 so you guys are involved from the start. Community involvement. Now, I know a lot of you guys, don't feel that Jagex has done community involvement well. Heck, I don't feel that they have. I constantly ask myself, what is it that really makes the RuneScape community? So, Jegex's community involvement will be interesting to see. Here's what Mark says. Back in 2009, when I first laid out my plans for the game and the company, I pledged that we would start talking to you guys, and keep you in the loop after a decade of secrecy. For the first time ever, we started talking about some of the projects we were working on, and the type of stuff we wanted to do for the community. Looking back over the past 4 years, I think we can say we have made a ton of progress in our communications. Recent initiatives like the live streams have been really well received, and from your feedback, it sounds like you'd like to see more of these happen. Nevertheless, I know that we can be far clearer and more consistent in how we talk to you, and this is going to be a big focus in 2013. Like the rest of the team, I read the forums and talk to players in-game. In my case, on a personal account, to really get a sense of your thoughts and feelings. While some of you were really happy and others didn't feel too strongly either way, there were others of you who felt angry, ignored, and at times even confused by Jegex's decision making. We've not always explained ourselves well, nor listened to you well enough, and for that, I'd like to apologize. Communications around topics like micropayments were especially weak, and many of you were understandably frustrated. We intend to do more development blogs and have live Q&As to clearly set out the issues facing us and then get your feedback directly. We'll continue behind the scenes videos and also announce game updates earlier, as we want you to be as excited as we are about the year to come, and to give us your thoughts and ideas as early as possible. I would like to apologize for that random plumbing interruption. But now that I've finished reading this section on community involvement, here's the comment that I would like to make. First of all, I have not played RuneScape very long. I played for 4 years. I technically have played for 5, but my first account, I have a vet cape on it, but my first account, I never really got involved in RuneScape. I was playing with friends, and I didn't even read the homepage. When I started my second account, I had been a member for about a month, and people told me there was this homepage and things to do. It changed me as a person and how I look at RuneScape, and even now, sometimes I wish that I had my new virginity, and that I could really understand why things were, sometimes the way they were, or think about things in just the perspective of a 99 without high scores and things like that. But I haven't played the game long enough to give you a fair comparison of what RuneScape was like 4 years ago versus, like, their communication now. The words that come to mind when when Jagex says community involvement, for me, the words that come to mind are events, JMods, parties, forum interaction, and live streams. I think I've picked 5 good examples there. But following that, I want to say an apology for how players were treated is a big deal from a company. And I think that that deserves to be looked at. I mean, things aren't perfect. And this is Jagex saying, okay, we made a mistake. We're sorry. Which is good. Or at least it's Mod Mark saying it. So that's at least one of them. Which is worth something. For me as a player, it's encouraging. I also wanted to say that when he talks about, on a personal account, I think he literally means a personal account, not a, little account running around with a JMod crown, And you can go to the GE and do it too. Just go, hey guys, what did you think of the recent update? And, people will talk. Not everybody goes to the forums, but almost everybody goes to the GE. So it's a great place to get feedback. I'm not saying that's how he did it, but it's my assumption of probably how it happened. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to more focus in 2013 and seeing how things changed. So that's my feedback on the community involvement portion of this letter. Bots and gold farmers. On average, we ban over 1,000 player accounts every day for botting, and delete tons more illegitimate trial accounts. However, our work is not done, so long as botting remains a frustration for us all. Our anti-bot tech improvements launched in 2012 are a massive step forward, not just for us, but for the industry as a whole. It's put us well ahead of the technology used by bot developers. However, our communications around the launch of Botany Bay didn't reflect what we needed to roll this technology out gradually, since permanently banning accounts requires systems which are absolutely foolproof. Botany Bay has not yet made full use of our new anti-bot systems, but we are looking forward to rolling them out. I'm thrilled to see the success that BotWatch has already had against bots and gold farmers. We do know for a fact there are far fewer players botting now in-game than there were back in 2011. However, what's enraging is that this improvement has been undermined by the sizable increase in gold farming bots. So in 2013, we will also be adding a parallel strategy to specifically target gold farmers and related illicit real-world trading activities. We'll be talking more about this soon. And that concludes the bots and gold farmers thing. I can hear you guys now going, does this mean they're going to ban, flower game clans, gambling clans? We'll see. I can't speak for Jagex. For myself, I understood that Botany Bay and the stuff they talked about was going to be a lot of steps. I mean, a lot of my friends have asked me, okay, if Botany Bay exists, why are things this way? Why isn't this banned yet? And like I would say to them, I can't speak for Jagex, but this is bigger than, just a company trying to keep illegitimate accounts out, because as many as they get rid of, there are still people who are getting into it. There are legitimate players who are being told by their friends who haven't been caught botting yet, going, oh, this is totally cool, and you should do it, it makes everything easier. And there's also, gold farmers. Personally, I've never real-world traded, and I'm very against it, just simply because of the way that it can flip a game's economy without, much warning, without any real ability to compete for prices. And that probably sounds like a less than intelligent comment, but I'm against it, and I'm glad to see Jagex saying they'll do something about it. I think everybody can say we know people who has real-world traded. Some of us even ask questions like, how do we report people that we know have real-world traded? I don't think that Jagex has answered that question. And I know that there's definitely people who have definitely real-world traded. I know people who have. And, it's on their conscience. They're responsible for what they do. And if Jagex, deems them, catches them, whatever, and deems them worthy of a ban, I'm not going to question it. And I would hope that they would come back and learn to play legitimate, because there's so much in legitimate gameplay that people just have missed out on. Micropayments. The Squeal of Fortune, and to a lesser extent Solomon's General Store, has always been a heated topic of discussion. I won't sugarcoat this. These additions were, and are, vital for growing RuneScape. They allowed us to double the size of RuneScape's team and keep up the near-weekly game updates. Also, we've put the money we've earned from these back into RuneScape technology and infrastructure, with the focus on tackling lag, improving audio, and graphical quality. You'll see these big investments really coming into play for 2013. What's more, although not everyone likes micropayments, some of you appreciate the additional choice and customization options they offer. However, we can do better. At times in 2012, it felt like the Squeal of Fortune and Solomon's General Store releases dominated our release schedule and newsfeed, and that some of the content just didn't feel like RuneScape. The team is certainly moving towards a better balance as time has gone on. I hope you'll agree that our more recent micropayment updates are more in tune with the wider game, and that we've not released a micropayment update on a week with no other content. I just want to say, when the Squeal of Fortune came out, I had fun with my daily spins, and I wasn't necessarily working the same way that I am now. So buying spins wasn't an option when they came out. And I have never gone out deliberately to do things like buy spins. When they've had sales and promotions, I've had fun collecting items off the Squeal of Fortune. I'll do things like daily challenges to earn more spins, etc. The very first time that I did a micropayment consciously was in August. August 12th, when I went to get 200 million cooking XP. I bought the banner because I thought, hey, that would be cool to stick in Artie while I'm celebrating 200 mil cook XP. And everyone's going to laugh at me and think I'm a noob, and I was totally okay with that. It was a lot of fun, what can I say? Since then, I've used the banner a few times, but a lot of my friends who were really opposed to the Solomon's General Store and stuff have, since then turned around. There's things that everybody likes. I've bought some of the emotes, bank space, few more emotes. I got the title The, which is the title that I've always wanted, Dragon Keepsake Keys, just all sorts of stuff. I have gone out and bought rune coins before, specifically. Usually with Jegex's game card promotions, if you buy this card and get this item, my membership has been paid up pretty far to the point that I'm like, you know what, I think I'd rather buy rune coins. So that's been my relationship with the Solomon's General Store and the Squeal of Fortune. Anytime that I have purchased things other than that banner has usually been something that just happened to come with when I was buying those promotional items. So, I've never gone out of my way and, wrecked my budget in real life just for the sake of an online game. I know people who have. I know other people who buy things with moderation too. I'm just happy that those customizations and features are there for people who want them. And I guess that's really all I'm going to say on that. But there were times when there was too many releases, or that's the only thing that there was in the store or the update. That got old real fast. But, especially when it was stuff I genuinely wasn't interested in. So, my opinion when those came out was initially discussed, and then I guess they've just grown on me. And I've been like, well, if that's what Jagex wants to do with their game, more power to them. And I guess I just became accepting because it's within the rules. It's RuneScape. It's what I do. And I'm loyal to RuneScape as a game as a whole. So, if Jagex is going to bring in something like this and say, hey, this is within the rules and this is what we're going to do, then I guess more power to them. It's definitely a part of the game. Alright, let's look at the next section, promotions. Looking back, we definitely had too many promotions and giveaways in 2012. Though we carefully balanced the Squeal of Fortune, promotions like Sizzling Summer gave away too much. I think we got the Festivar and Winter Weekends about right, though. In 2013, we will be more cautious. These events should feel special and bring the community together. So we'll make them less frequent, more fun, and ensure that they don't undermine your hard-earned achievements. So this is what I wanted to say to that. I really liked the Sizzling Summer promotions. I think the insta-kill darts were the coolest part, even though I got screwed over and mine were wasted at next because of multiple people there. But, you know, that's operator error and impatience there, so, you know. And I really liked the XP tomes. My gosh, that was some great XP. But, you know, I can do without them. I did without them all the way up to Sizzling Summer, but Sizzling Summer was my favorite. If you're talking about things like the Summer Barbecue that I got on the wheel the day after getting 200 mil Cook XP, I didn't like that so much. I never used my ice cream hat. My water balloons, I think, are still in the bank, unless Jagex pulled them out. I don't know. You know, stuff like that. Novelty items that were, you know, created for fun. That was, you know, cool, but I wasn't into those too much. The Festive Aura, I liked that. I just didn't like how it reset every 24 hours given my work schedule. There was just a lot of days that I actually didn't get to use it because of the time lapsing and an inconsistent error. I wish it had just reset every day like the Explorer ring did. Winter weekends, there was a dungeon weekend that a lot of people had fun with. Wouldn't mind seeing that again. I don't even remember what else there was, but I do remember there was a snowman raid and the cannons and stuff. I tried it, I went, it wasn't fun. And if that's the kind of events that Jagex wants to bring where, you know, people do that kind of stuff, it's just incessant lag and not a fair opportunity to get all the potential rewards, you know. I was just, like, annoyed. Yes, this is me ranting as a player. I don't care what you think. But yeah, I just said, fine. I went and tried it. You can't blame me for, you know, not having experienced it. I at least gave it that, but I really hope that the winter weekends don't focus on things like the snowman raids in the future, should they bring those kind of things back. Alright, evolution of combat. It was Albert Einstein who said anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. The evolution of combat was new territory for all of us, a massive change to the core of the game, plus a rebalance of almost all combat gear and monsters. Keeping the game fresh for years to come means trying new things. Overall, I'm proud of the updated combat system and truly believe it's a change for the better in the long run. The EOC beta, another first for RuneScape, had well over 4 months of your feedback, with huge amounts of balancing and revision of the content. However, looking back into this was clearly still not enough for such a big update. Despite the beta, it's clear we didn't fully appreciate the extent to which everyone would have to adapt to the new gameplay. Like any key part of the game, we'll continue to refine the EOC for you. We have a team of developers dedicated to listening to your feedback and making the ongoing improvements required. 2 months in, we're glad to see you mastering the combat system and enjoying its exciting improvements. However, we appreciate it hasn't been an easy transition for everyone, and I apologize for that. We still have work to do, and we have learned the need to be even more careful and responsive in the future. I just want to say, since the launch of EOC approximately 2 months ago, I haven't done a lot of combat. It's mostly by choice, simply what I'm working on with skilling. Personally, I don't like it. I'm not like rage quitting RuneScape about it. I didn't make a great big video raging about it. You know, none of that stuff, but I look forward to any improvements and changes to it that'll make it more user-friendly. My action bar is the biggest reason I don't use it, and I haven't been able to go to God Wars or anything since then because it dies, it stops working. I don't want to be counting on an action bar when I need to, you know, kill stuff or, you know, die and lose my stuff or whatever. I mean, losing stuff's irrelevant these days when you have good friends to go with, but that's not the point. The point is that I find it very hard to rely on, so I don't like it. So I look forward to any kind of improvements that Jagex could possibly make to it. And I'm glad to see that they're saying that they're willing to go out there and keep an eye on feedback and make some improvements. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Game updates. Reflecting on the game updates of 2012, we're pretty happy. Daily challenges, the Runespan, Bonfire, Social Slayer, and the Big Chinchampa added fresher, more social ways to go about skilling. The Queen Black Dragon monster and dungeon reworks, potion flasks, and player-owned ports added loads more to do at high levels. Quests also played a very positive part with awesome storytelling and voice acting. We are very keen on making 2013 your year. This means giving you what you want: meaningful quests, new dungeons, epic events, and new skills. It also means making improvements to existing content and technical improvements on the game, making it smoother and better looking than ever before. But crucially, 2013 is about ensuring that your hard-earned legacy is respected. Everything you've done and worked so hard to achieve will remain as amazing and relevant as it ever has been. Okay, pause right there. Right there. I was sitting in the kitchen, read that sentence, and one question came to mind. Mod Mark, everything you've done and worked so hard to achieve will remain as amazing and relevant as it ever has been. Mod Mark, relevancy here. That's the key. Could you please change the high scores so that I can be rank 22 in construction, not rank 18? Because I worked for rank 22. Okay, thanks, bye. Alright, back to what Mark said. I don't believe we've ever actually thanked our members for helping us to make RuneScape into the incredible gaming it is today, not to mention providing a completely free game for millions of players. So a very big thank you to our members from myself, the RuneScape team, and the free community. Lastly, I want to say thank you for playing RuneScape. Our purpose and passion is to advance this game for you. Your feedback and your criticism is what helps us to confidently take the game into 2013 and beyond. So please keep it coming. As always, have fun. Cheers, Mark Gerhard. Game updates. When he said daily challenges, the Runespan, Bonfires, Social Slayer, and the Big Chin Champa made things more social, here's my feedback as a player. Daily challenges. Training the prayer ones, I don't think I've ever socialized with anybody. Or construction, in the sense that it made me need to interact with people. Or a lot of bank skills, but there's other things like God Wars and minigames that were pretty social. We had new people come and play SC so they could achieve some of their Stealing Creation achievements, like deposit clay with a level 3 familiar. So, okay, I'll give you points on social for that. The Runespan, definitely social. In fact, I was there yesterday with one of my friends who just returned to RuneScape. She came back and she's like, so what should we do? I said, hey, Runespan. And we hung out in RuneSpan for a couple hours. It was cool. Bonfires. I've had a few bonfire events with my clan. That was social. However, the bonfire world made me want to become a recluse and never talk to anyone in RuneScape again while I was working on 200 mil cooking, because that's way too social. People can just talk about what's on their mind, and it actually drives me nuts. Social Slayer. Social Slayer needs some tweaking, because if I meet up with you and you meet up with me on a task, we become friends, we finish the task, or I might finish the task, but you have to log out, I won't get the points, and I can't rejoin because my task is done. So Social Slayer needs some rework. And finally, the Big Chin Champa. I haven't seen anyone talk at the Big Chin Champa, other than to say, oops, wrong chat. I haven't seen any socializing there, so, and you can't really go with your friends because you often get separated. 9 out of 10 times you and your friends can go, and you will get thrown on a different server, so, yeah. Socially, I think some of these things, Jagex is looking at them, not from player perspective when they say they're more social, but they were good quality, and overall, I like every single piece of that content for my own personal use. What other people do around them that irks me is, my opinion on whether I like it or not. But, yeah, I like most of that stuff. The Queen Black Dragon, Monster and Dungeon reworks, potion flasks, and player-owned ports. High-level content. I have been to all the new dungeon reworks, and I've fought a lot of the Slayer monsters that were reworked. I've used potion flasks and player-owned ports. I love them. Queen Black Dragon, I will face her someday. So, it was some pretty good high-level content, too. I'm looking forward to meaningful quests, not some of this really random stuff. If you remember, Witch's Potion, get me these things, and you're done in 5 minutes. That's like a, wow, not a cool quest at all. Glad they took that out, but that's not the point. That's just my example of, what a useless quest is. I'm looking forward to new dungeons, and by those, Jagex have said things like, this year they would, update construction so you can build dungeons in your house that'll actually give dunge XP, or, stuff like that. as well as a ranging dungeon that's coming, so I'm looking forward to those dungeons. Epic events and new skills. We'll see how epic the events are when they come. The new skills are also really exciting. So I am looking forward to this year. I really am. My sarcastic comment about relevance and my construction rank is just me being me. I don't like the high scores as they are, and that's the biggest thing that I want. Social Slayer and the high scores and the construction update. Those are the things that I want, but can't have it all. 2 out of 3 will be good this year. So yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to Mod Mark for 2 apologies and 1 thank you in one heck of a big letter. When I read this, I had to double check that it was indeed Mod Mark Gerhard, because I've never seen this side of him. And I think that as a gamer, a serious player, that's a really good side to see, without putting out there any negative comments. Anyway, I just want to thank you for watching this, listening to me babble on about what I think about it, and I want to wish you a good day, and, leave me some comments, let me know what else you want me to talk about. Thank you, have a good day, Jamaity52.